obviously y'all dropped a heartbreaker to Kentucky early in the SEC season. Watching them lately and since that game, what looks different about Kentucky compared to that first meeting?
Well, they're starting Mintz at the point now, and he's really been the stabilizing guy the entire year for him. He's playing really good basketball, tough, makes a lot of plays for his teammates. Really like him as a player and as a leader and as a competitor. They're playing faster. They're really pushing the ball hard in transition and really trying to get easy early shots. And they played their best basketball here late in the season. The win at Tennessee was incredibly impressive. They crushed South Carolina in their last win the other day. Boston had a really good game in that game. And so, and we know that the history of the SEC tournament in Kentucky basketball are very much hand in hand. They're great in this tournament every year, and, we're going to have to play extremely well to have success. More questions?
I had another one, Coach, but it's kind of about the future of the program. Mississippi State signee Keyshawn Murphy finished off his career this past Friday in the championship game. How did you see him fitting in the roster next year, and what did you see from him this year in his senior season at Ramsey?
Well, he had a great year, and he's a really good player and a good kid, but he's something that we need in that he's a stretch four. He can step out and space the floor and shoot the ball from the perimeter at 6'10", and still score around the basket and rebound the basketball and even block shots. So he's an exciting addition for us in the future, and looking forward to having him here in a couple months when we start back up in June.
We'll go to Garrett next. Garrett, go ahead.
Hey, Ben, would you say that this is one of the more deeper teams you've had at Mississippi State? It just seems like, last game Cam Matthews comes in and gives you some good minutes. Derek Fountain and Jalen Johnson's done it a couple times. Seems like guys, even if they haven't pplayed the last couple games, are ready to come and contribute when asked to do so.
I thought Cameron did a good job for us the other day. He played a lot of minutes earlier in the season and kind of hasn't played as much later in the season, and I'm glad he was ready and he performed well. He had a couple big baskets, including an offensive rebound that he put in. He played good defense. He had a couple fouls that were ill-advised, especially late in the game when it was a one-possession game. He fouled them when you just got to let that one go, so they have to earn it versus shoot with no one guarding them. But overall, I thought he was really good for us. And Derek, came on great here late in our season and did a really good job for us. And we'll start him in the game against Kentucky on Thursday.
We'll swing it up to Lexington to Jerry Tipton for a couple. Jerry, go ahead.
Yeah, Ben, I wonder, sort of dovetailing off that, how do you size up your team going into the tournament?
Specifically what you speak of, Jerry?
Well, I mean, just in the general sense of frame of mind of how they're playing right now going in.
Okay, we won 3 of our last 5 games. We had a chance there on Saturday at a 1-point game with 5 minutes to go at Auburn, and fell short, which was disappointing for us because we had played well 3 of 4 going into that game. But I think our guys will be very excited to play against the University of Kentucky. Who wouldn't be? And be playing the SEC tournament, which is a whole new season. So they'll be very excited and pumped up for this opportunity coming up Thursday morning.
And just as a follow, how are your 2 guards, Stewart and Iverson, how are they playing, and how about your big guys, especially Tolu and Abdul?
They all had good years, and you look back, the things that we did best this season in the conference, we were number 1 in rebound margin, which you have to be able to do, rebound the ball to stand up to Kentucky because they're so long and so good on the glass. And they really hurt us the first time we played on the offensive glass. We've got to do a better job keeping them off the glass in this go-around. And then we were 2nd overall in field goal percentage defense in conference games. And, thought our defense improved as the season went on, especially late in the year. We were very good. So, those were positives. Iverson had a very good year. When you look at his numbers, he was, top 10 in field goal percentage, from the field. He was, I think, 5th in scoring in conference games. Played a lot of minutes. I think he was like 7th or 8th in the league in minutes played in conference games. DJ was fantastic. He was 3rd in the league in minutes played, 8th in scoring, 2nd in free throw shooting percentage, top 5 in steals per game, and switched to the point here late in the season and really made a difference for us playing at the point. And then Tolu Smith led the league in rebounding in conference games, which is now the 2nd year in a row we've had a player lead the conference in rebounding, Reggie Perry being the other last season. And really proud of him and what he did this year on the glass. And just overall as a player, he's improved a lot. So those 3 guys all had really good years. Abdul was 2nd in the league in block shots. He's the career leader overall in the SEC currently right now of players that are active. Had a fine season, and did it what he always does, plays great defense, and that helped us, compete in this very, very tough conference.
And Ben, if I can ask one more, Kentucky's going into this thinking they need to win the tournament to get into the NCAA. How do you guys feel about NCAA and where all that stands?
We're in the same boat they are, and I know it's a whole new season, so both teams are starting over, and we're going to bring our very best effort that we can give here Thursday morning. I know they will too.
Thanks.
You bet.
Go to Joe Coleman next. Joe, hop on in there.
Ben, kind of following up on that, if the seeds hold, it's obviously, it'd be a gauntlet no matter what to get through the SEC tournament. You'll be playing, you'd need to get through 4 games in 4 days and all that. Do you feel like at all, whether it's Iverson or whether it's Derek or whether it's Tolu, guys that this year is their first year playing major minutes, is it an advantage at all to have young guys playing in the SEC tournament and getting their first major minutes, knowing that, you need to make a run probably to get into the NCAAs? Is it kind of an advantage to be relying on youth and inexperience a little bit, or would you rather, I guess, have a roster stock full of veterans out there doing it?
Well, you know what? I'd like to turn the clock back 1 year and give the team last year a chance to play in the SEC tournament. I think about, you look at, it's amazing how fast this year has gone by. And this is where we were a year ago, where we were a double bye going into that tournament and didn't have a chance to compete at all. We're grateful to have a chance to compete this year. It's been absolutely phenomenal to be able to play the season. We were one of 2 teams in our league, Auburn being the other, that had no games impacted from COVID, which I'm really proud of our team, the way they've handled that this entire season and all the protocols and things they've done to make themselves stay healthy. But there's no question, Joel, that having experience over having guys that are young always is the advantage. So experience trumps non-experience 99% of the time.
We'll go up to Columbus and John Sokoloff for a couple. John?
What's going on, Ben? You mentioned how you think that you guys would have to win the SEC tournament to get in. What type of improvements do you think you need to see from your team in order to take that next step and actually win this SEC tournament? Because you yourself even just said it. It seems like a schedule reset.
Bottom line is we're just going 1 game at a time, John. You have to win 4, but we just have to win the next game. Right now it's about surviving and staying alive. That's what you're trying to do in this tournament setting. And everybody's really good. Everybody's fighting. We're in a situation where we're playing against the premier team in our conference in terms of the history and tradition of the SEC. Kentucky's the winningest program ever. Their dominance of this tournament over the last 60 years is incredible. And I know there'll be a lot of blue in the gymnasium. How many people are allowed to go to this game? I don't even know what the percentage is for the allotment of people that are allowed. Does anybody know? Jerry, I figured you'd know.
I think it's 20%. I may be wrong.
I imagine there'll be some people in blue shirts in that game Wednesday. So we're going to be playing at 20%, you're talking about 4,000 people or close to it. This would be like our first true road game of the conference, because there'll be a lot of Kentucky folk there, and that will be our mindset. We're playing a road game, not just a game in the SEC tournament, because those people travel and they show up.